What is up, everybody? So, we are here with... Jesus Christ, I gotta turn this... Oops, I gotta turn the fucking music down. Oh, hot damn. So, we are here with my good friend, Ethan, former writer for Onward State, graduate of Penn State University. How you doing tonight, mate?
How's it going, Dan? Good to hear from you as always.
Yeah, mate. Fucking shit, I forgot to change up the information. So yeah, there's been some... I know there's been some interesting shit going on that we can talk about tonight. The NBA strike that happened for a couple of days, and then Barack Obama fucking called them and was like, hey, come on, guys, just fucking play ball again. Fucking, god damn it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I see both ways, like why people would want to say they should not be playing right now and why people say they should be playing. It's tough to decide.
Yeah, just the reason why I'm, like, annoyed with that. This is episode 5 of Crosssfaded Sports Babble, I believe.
It is indeed.
I will continue what I was saying in a moment. I'm just I'm changing the, information. Shit. What am I doing? There we go. Okay, so... Well, I'm a little annoyed with Obama calling up the fucking, like, getting on the phone with the players and be like, oh no, stop fucking, don't fucking strike, It's annoying because it's literally like, I'm, like, annoyed with how when I was a fucking teenager, I never voted in those elections. The first presidential election I ever fucking got to vote in was the goddamn worst one, 2016, and, But you know me, back when I was...
It was actually 2013, or what was it? When did I vote?
Oh, you were able to vote in the 2012 election, that's right.
I did, yeah. Actually, my birthday was like...
Yeah, like right... Yeah, your birthday was like right before it or election day or some shit.
Right.
Yeah, shit, so you actually did... So you actually fucking did get to vote for Barack Obama.
I did, yeah. It was
yeah,
wild.
And now, in retrospect, it's like, it's not that I would have voted against him, but dear God, I used to, like, simp for Obama so hard when I was a kid. But now he has given me every reason.
Like, change once they get in office, so...
Yeah, it's because they're all fucking liars. But, no, it's because they're all sleazes, but he actively did so much shit that is, like, the antithesis of what I would have wanted him to do as, like, a guy who is for generally left-wing causes.
Yeah, well, there's so much lobbying power, it's, like, hard not to deny, like, that's influence on American politics.
Yeah, exactly. But, but still, it's like, and then after the presidency, he like, called in Joe Biden running. Remember how Joe Biden, like, really wasn't thinking about running until it looked like Bernie Sanders had a huge chance of winning the fucking primaries, and then he's all of a sudden like, oh, I'm gonna do it, because I'm Joe Biden. Hey everybody, I'm Joe Biden, and I'm Joe Biden. I'm here to tell you about this time that I had this encounter with a gangster named Corn Pop. I'm sorry, this is a sports podcast, not a podcast about fucking politics. If you want to do another podcast about straight...
The rain barrel.
For what?
The rusty razor blades in the rain barrel. Do you remember that one?
I gotta look that one up and listen to it at some point when we're done with this show. I can't let...
I think it's the same one. It's the Corn Pop one. It was the same, like, rant or whatever, but he talked about rusty razor blades.
That's right.
Put them in the rain barrel to make them all...
I'll have to watch it again. This was just... Yeah, that was like, dude, are you fucking making this up? Are you insane? Like...
Who knows, dude?
But still, yeah, basically... That Obama trying to getting the basketball players to stop fucking striking. I'm glad they're still being vocal, at least. At least they're still being vocal. I would be really mad if I would be annoyed if somebody was like paying them money to just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That would
Well,
just
I think
be
they're
like,
using their platform well, from what I can tell.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, they're at least using it half well. It's I didn't think I'd ever see a day where NBA straight up went on a strike about a political, where any sporting association for any professional sporting organizations, players, basically went on a. People keep saying it's we're saying boycott. That's not a fucking boycott. These guys are employees of the fucking teams that are playing. This is a strike. Yeah. This is a fucking strike. This isn't a fucking boycott. Call it a fucking strike. What? Has the word labor strike become so fucking... You know, I don't... It might seem like tacky to get political on what is ostensibly a sports podcast, but politics is fucking everything. People who bitch about being like, oh, why did something that I like have to get so political? Oh my god, why does knitting have to be political? Carolyn Borisenko, why does sports ball have to be so political now? Oh my god! Oh my god! Why? Ah! I just can't help but run and flail my fucking arms because I have lost my fucking mind. Everything's so political now. Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm going a little overboard here. But,
You're good, but you'd think some people think it's the apocalypse. It's like, it's wild.
Yeah, exactly. I'm at least only exaggerating a little bit in reality, right?
No, it's like pretty spot on. People have been acting crazy this year.
And, yeah, it's like, shut the fuck up. Everything's always been fucking political in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just the politics dealing with the fucking politics within knitting, or politics within and only relevant to basketball, or as we talked about on here before, the extremely, extremely sleazy politics relating to Formula One racing. It's never going to not be political.
Yeah. No doubt about that. I mean, people always say, like, oh, like, the civil rights movement, It's like, dude, we're living in it. Like, it never ended.
Yeah. Yeah, why are people like, oh, the civil rights... I really find it disgusting how we almost taught us in school, like, hey, and the civil rights ended and race relations are much better now and don't talk about it anymore. Yeah. Worship America.
It's all the amount of stuff that we, like, learned in history classes, so-called, but, like, what you're actually being taught and what you're not being taught.
The whitewashed legacy of Dr. King.
Yeah, and just everything. Like, there's always some sort of spin on what you're learning.
Yep. Oh, you know what? Speaking of this, let's give a brief second to give attention to my favorite baseball team growing up, the Boston Red Sox, for being a bunch of, like, racist shitheads back in the day who were the last MLB team to fucking sign any black players. And
yeah. Boston's having a tough time with racism and all sorts of stuff, like fans calling players the N-word. It's just really bad, it seems.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which fucking guy was it that like would not get traded to Boston because he had never been called the N-word by the fans more places anywhere than Boston.
I think it was Torrey Hunter Jr., but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, you might be correct about that. Yeah, Boston. Yeah, that's. I also wouldn't be surprised if... I would totally be surprised if there were, like, fucking players who never wanted to play for the Pirates or the Steelers for the same reason. Or the Pens.
Sure.
Fucking... Yeah, have you ever been around, like, a lot of the white working class people that live in fucking Pittsburgh?
From time to time.
Did I tell you about how when I lived down there, the people I worked with tossed the N-word around more casually than anybody else I've ever heard?
Jeez, that's not
No,
good.
it was so bad. Other than this one specific dude that we went to high school with who was trying to tell me that, like, I'm, like, bad. Because I am a far leftist. But,
Yeah, I haven't really explored Pittsburgh all that much. I've been there many times.
It's like, you know, it's cool. It's cool, and I like the place. And the people I worked with actually were, like, not, like, the most terrible people. Like, racism doesn't have to be, like, it's not like some, like... it doesn't have to be like terrible fucking people committing it, although I really am kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? But other than that, these people weren't like the worst fucking people on the fucking planet. Oh no, maybe that was because I was white. It probably was because I was white.
Covert racism and all that stuff, it all adds up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, actually, give me 1 second. I want to see if I can... Come on. I want to... I'm sorry, I need to set this shit up beforehand.
You're good.
Never mind, I'll just... Let's put on a different song. Let's put on the fuck song in the background. Oh, but anyways, were there any other, like, labor actions involving professional sports over politics recently?
A lot of leagues, actually, paused games and stuff, and didn't play for a day or two.
What?
Like MLS, NHL, all sorts of leagues, WNBA, obviously NBA, many leagues.
Yeah, fucking... I'm glad that... Yeah, it's like you people are in a position. It's like you guys are in a position and getting paid enormous amounts of bucks to like go play sports ball on TV. Use that fucking platform for something good. And that's why it extra infuriates me when people use it to just like be chuds. When people use it to just like shill for like, I don't understand how people don't understand that how a lot of the values associated with fucking super conservative or ultra fucking nationalist type of shit like that often really just is just like not a good fucking look.
Oh, absolutely. You're not getting any pushback from me on that.
And it's like, okay, yeah, if you believe it and you're gonna use your platform as a fucking sports ball dude to fucking like try to like amp like signal boost that bullshit, fine, go ahead and fucking do it. But don't act like a fucking crybaby when people call you an asshole. And then don't bring up the, oh, but what about like Antifas showing up at fucking speaking events on college campuses and getting them shut down, bro? Oh my god.
Whataboutism is so annoying.
It's the most fucking whataboutism shit that there is. Yeah. That's like, what the fuck does that have to do with people telling sports ball, bro? And all of those guys, the only sports ball dude who got fucking blackballed for his political takes was Colin fucking Kaepernick.
Right. And like so many people have said, like...
Did Tim Tebow get blackballed for his conservative gifts? Like... No, he was like way shittier than fucking... And people were trying to be like, this is a real sports ball player and he got blackballed for being a Christian. No, he actually like bounced out of the league because he really just couldn't play NFL ball.
Yeah, like so many people have said, you don't show up to like a breast cancer awareness thing and say like, all cancers matter. It's like... Everyone knows that. Like, you don't have to say that. Like, that's just a given. It's just this one in particular happens to be, like, highlighted right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all just, it's whataboutism. It's derailing the conversation. It's also concern trolling.
Yeah.
It's just the worst. It's the worst type of, it's like concern trolling all in one. It's concern trolling, all aboutism, literally just, like, so many different motives and, actions with, like, sinister motives to derail conversations and try to distract from real issues to scare people. All roll into like one thing. When people are like, oh, but the sports, when you're like talking about like when people start acting like sports ball players get blackballed for being conservative.
Yeah. Well, we just have to
or
keep
if
it
you're
up.
talking
Like,
about that issue, or if you're talking about like the Colin Kaepernick thing, and people just start like bringing up like shit involving, yeah, I don't necessarily think it's right that if fucking like dudes are gonna like intimidate people out of speaking at college campuses. But what the fuck? What the fuck does that really have to do with the fucking sports ball guys?
it doesn't at all. It's just like talking about a
It's just a
totally random,
distraction
unrelated
and
point.
just like yeah, and it's just like and then especially when people do that and they just like whip out all the whataboutisms all at once that you can't actually respond and they're just trying to just like scream over you. It's just like you. And then they accuse the fucking lefties of doing this shit. I thought
Yeah. Well, it's just
the
we have to
fucking
remember,
I
like,
can't
at
figure out how
least
to
like
change the color
50%
of
of
that viewer count widget and it ruins my aesthetic to have a blue widget with the rest of my overlays being red. So that's why I nuked that on all my other overlays and just forgot to do it on this one. Sorry about that. That was a bit of a distraction.
We just have to remember like 50% of Twitter accounts are bots at least, so it's just a lot of people like drumming up stupid trolling.
So many Twitter accounts are so fucking fake, dude.
Yeah, it's just they all say the exact like cookie cutter stuff to get people pissed off.
Yeah, especially if you so much as like I always get a storm of those every time I like say something remotely negative about Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
That fucking guy. Other fucking sports and motorsports and sports ball shit that has been going on. What's been going on with golf? I have not paid enough attention to golf.
I know it's been like the FedEx Cup playoffs, and Dustin Johnson's been playing pretty well. John Rahm is playing real well, but I haven't seen what's going on this week. And obviously, like the Masters is going to be going on in November with no fans, so
that's right,
November.
Cool. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting though, because like Augusta National obviously is unplayable in the summer. It's only playable for like everyone, the members and people like pros included, like spring and fall. Like it's so brown and baked out in the summer, you can't even play it. It looks like unrecognizable.
Because it just gets way too hot down there in Georgia.
Yeah, totally. Everything gets baked out, but it's going to be super interesting to see. I mean, with like a fall Masters, that's fascinating. Like right in the middle of football season, like it's going to be so interesting to see like who wins, and especially.
Oh, I'm real interested to see what happens with NFL ball.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, it looks like they're obviously trudging forward, but who knows?
It's going to be fucking weird.
Yeah, everything's so weird this year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck do you expect? What the fuck do people expect? It became pretty apparent pretty quick that the coronavirus problem was going to throw a fucking wrench into things. But people were so resistant to that, and so as a result, it's just kind of sat here and continued to throw fucking wrenches into all the shit we do.
Yeah, it's tough. I just hope we can get to that point someday where we can somewhat go back to doing the things that we normally do, like hugging our friends and family and seeing everyone and all that good stuff that we always like to do.
Yeah. Yeah, but people are, it's going to take ever the longer to do that, and oh no, I thought I was hearing some shit about something. No, I'm not going to talk about how fucking dumb herd immunity is, because that's all we'll be talking about for the next like 4 fucking hours, and they'll be like, oh god, it's almost 5 in the morning, we gotta call it quits.
We could probably get you talking about that for like days.
Yeah, you could get me talking about a lot of things for fucking days.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You're like the human Wikipedia.
I am
in my one time on Wikipedia in the last like 20 some years than most people doing a lifetime. But you know so much shit. It's crazy, dude. It's wild.
Well, thank you.
You're probably like one of the most knowledgeable people I know, to be honest with you.
I appreciate that.
All this crazy shit about so much stuff. You can talk people's heads off about like literally anything for hours.
Oh yeah. Yep, and I have actually done it. Yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah, you ever talk to my grandfather that I live with? He does the same fucking thing.
I guess it just runs in the family then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he is also a rather knowledgeable guy.
No doubt. It's a good thing.
Although more specifically focused on literature.
Sure. That's fascinating.
And sometimes
I don't read nearly enough books as I should, honestly. Like
neither do I.
I don't read nearly enough.
Yeah, neither do I, but also Neither do I, but also, like, who the fuck has the time to read?
Yeah, I agree, dude. I'm like always reading stuff online, reading
And
everything. It's just a different type of reading.
in before you could read book instead of Twitch stream, and maybe that make life better.
Yeah. I only really read books on airplanes now, to be honest with you.
About it. Just think about the stupidity that has come out of the mouth of one who has just spoken such stupidity unto me.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, this is like kind of not related to sports at all, but did you hear the stuff about the Melania tapes and whatnot, and her friend, they're like turned like enemy or whatever? She like was recording stuff of Melania.
Oops,
Did you
wrong
look into that
thing.
at all?
This is the first I've been hearing of this. I'll have to, yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not like sports centric, but definitely check that out. It's pretty noteworthy.
I'll have to check that out. That's gonna be something that's rather interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so other sports garbage.
Yo, so did you see the video I sent you of Lewis Hamilton and how his younger brother was like a virtual racer too, and then he actually got into real racing, who has cerebral palsy?
I saw something somebody sent me about like some kid wanting to play like Mario Kart with some, or no, it was Fall Guys or some. No, that was somebody else. Shit, no, I either missed that one or I fucking like watched it but then forgot about it. No, Lewis Hamilton has a brother. What?
Yeah, he has a younger brother. Let me look up his name here. But while I'm doing that, he has a younger brother who has cerebral palsy, and
shit.
he like would always follow Lewis's racing career, and he like
that's
got
cool.
into like simulated racing and what have you. And then
Damn.
eventually he like got into actually like racing his own cars and stuff, and like has been a really great advocate for cerebral palsy, and they're both like super close, obviously.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't really know a damn thing about I don't really know a damn thing about.
His brother's name is Nicholas Hamilton. He's 28. He's his younger brother. He has cerebral palsy. He was born premature, I believe, like maybe 2 months premature. But yeah, they have a super close relationship, and they both like race, and they both have like big careers. Like I believe his younger brother was like the #1 simulation racing guy in like the whole United Kingdom at one point in time.
Oh, damn.
So he was really good himself at virtual racing, and like he would always go to his brother's races, and then obviously Lewis like would go to his races too and like support him, and they both have a huge like following, a huge fan base.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton is like, I don't really know much about anything about like the like lives of these drivers outside of driving. I know them as like guy drive car.
Yeah.
Guy drive car very, very, very fast. What?
Oh, that's the fascinating thing. Like I was always more interested in like human interest stuff, like when I was covering stuff for Onward State or even Dignity Volleyball right now. Like I was never all that good.
Oh,
like,
you work for Dignity? You work for Dignity Volleyball?
Yeah, I guess I'm technically like the editor-in-chief right now. I was promoted a couple months ago. So I'm basically like running the site.
Oh shit!
But yeah, it's a lot
yeah,
of fun.
because
like,
I followed them a while ago, and I noticed you followed, and I had no idea you actually did work with them.
Yeah, no,
that's
cool.
All
me, like on Instagram and stuff. Like it's
an
older gentleman from the State College area who now lives in Philadelphia, and he's like a lawyer. But he like kind of helps run the site, run the back end and all that, and I coordinate with him.
Was he paid to do it, or?
Oh no, it's just kind of like a side thing for fun. I do just like as a hobby.
Yeah, that's still cool though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, I mean, I get compensated here and there, but it's more so just like a passion project, hobby thing.
Exactly.
I like to
yeah,
do.
that's not. Yeah, exactly. Like kind of like we still gotta get Silicon. I don't want to dox him because I think so far he's only known as Silicon on here. But
sure.
I think we call each other by first name on stream often when we played shit together. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I totally feel you, and I appreciate you like filling me in on all the like the rules and whatnot of streaming. I don't really know. I'm pretty like, new to the whole thing, so I appreciate
I
like,
gotcha.
all that help and your guidance with that.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's just like safety shit because some people sometimes people I told you about like when the giant like flood of trolls came in and shit, right?
I think so. Yeah, you said it
Yeah.
was like real annoying.
Yeah, and also sometimes people who do that will like fucking like will try to like find out like who you are and where you live and leak your fucking address and like
Oh,
entice
that,
other people to like hit you up with death threats and shit.
yeah,
This
that shit is
people
super
like
serious. No
yeah,
doubt. Like I know it's
that's
very
like
serious.
even as much as I like as much as I like despise like much of what the current institution of law enforcement is. If shit like that happens, like that's straight up kind of like cybercrime at that point, and I will happily fucking hit up like, hey, fucking federal cybercrime dude, want to go like trace this dude?
Yeah, that stuff is no joke for sure. People getting
Yeah,
like all that stuff. That's just
yeah, it's
super
just
serious.
fucked
So,
up.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are crazy, dude. There's always some wackos out there like who ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, so what the fuck do you think is gonna happen with like pets? When the hell does college volleyball play again? Is that a winter thing?
Usually it's in the fall, so they would have started August 28th. So it's been a couple
They're
days
not
now.
Are they? Is volleyball gonna play? I know that
Yeah,
Big
they're
Ten.
playing in the spring.
They're
The
trying to play in
NCAA
the
moved
spring.
all fall championships that aren't under like the college football playoff isn't run by the NCAA.
Yeah, that's not an NCAA. Thing.
But they moved all fall sports championships to the spring, obviously. So like
Yep.
Penn State women's volleyball is going to try and play in the spring. Obviously the Pac-12 is going to try and play in the spring. So hopefully they'll be in it for a national title. Like I'm not really sure what's going on with the other teams in the other Power 5 conferences if they're going to try and play this fall still or why, because they're not going to be competing for a national title. So I don't really know why they would want to play, like say at Pitt. Why would you want to play for no national title this fall when you can compete for one this spring?
I don't know. Because some people are like stupid, like, oh man, we can't wait. My God, we can't wait. Oh my God, dude, I need my football. I'm addicted to football.
Yeah,
Football.
it's just tough, man. People are like starved for sports, but like there's people who go about it in the wrong way, and
It's
there's
like, for
people who
fuck's
go
sake,
about it in the
if
right
you're
way.
starved for sports, follow esports and car racing.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's something else. There's like logistical concerns no matter how you slice it. So
Exactly, like there have been fucking Sergio Perez, the F1 driver, had to sit out because he got tested positive for coronavirus. Jimmy Johnson, 7-time NASCAR Cup champion, has had to sit out for a bit because he like tested positive for coronavirus.
yeah, it's just like this shit is no joke. It's tough, man. Everyone's living in a hard time right now. It's just we just
Yeah, these are weird fucking times. These are weird fucking times for the planet. Fucking
but I do hope that we'll eventually get through
global
it and
pandemic
get to a better
problem that has
side.
been poorly mismanaged by the government, which has been disproportionately fucking over people who have always been disproportionately fucked over by every issue in this country, and it is reaching a fucking boiling point.
Yeah, it's just tough, man. It's been a year of change for sure. Like,
And
no
yeah,
matter what.
I don't really blame people for starting to geek out that their fucking escape with sports ball isn't around, but it's still just like,
Yeah.
don't
Everyone
like
has
be
to have
stupid
perspective.
about it.
Like, there are bigger things going on in sports right now, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
still
you have
like,
to have the
also,
right
you
lens.
want to get your fucking sports ball games back. You want to be able to go to your sports ball games again in person, like, and be able to be with crowds of people and whatnot. Then just deal with the fucking regulations or whatnot.
Yeah, but then on the other side of that coin, like when we do finally get back into like concerts and sporting events and stuff, it's gonna feel so good after like not having it for so long. We'll really appreciate it.
Yeah, holy shit.
So I mean,
Yeah,
once we
it's-
are finally back in stadiums and stuff and are able to like hug our friends and do all that stuff that we normally do, like it's gonna feel really good.
Yeah.
But on that note, make sure you definitely like reach out to your friends and family. Like you never know what people are going through. Like
Of course.
it's a really hard time like right now for everyone.
Yeah, of course.
But speaking of coronavirus stuff, Georgia quarterback Jamie Newman, he just grad transferred there from Wake Forest. He actually never played for Georgia, but he's opting out because of coronavirus concerns and preparing for the NFL draft. So he never actually played for Georgia, but transferred there this offseason. Kirby Smart, the head coach there, said he's always welcome in Athens. And he got to train with the team and like obviously get ready
Why
for
did
the
he
draft,
transfer
but-
from Wake Forest?
Jamie Newman, yeah, Wake Forest quarterback, grad transferred to Georgia. Never actually has played there at all.
Why was he going to
like,
transfer to Georgia, though?
He just planned to like grad transfer there to play for one season at Georgia. It's a pretty common thing with quarterbacks, kind of like improve your draft stock. But he's already like the number 6 quarterback in
to specifically play to grad transfer and specifically play at Georgia.
Yeah, so like a lot of quarterbacks will like transfer, but he like had one more year of eligibility, and he got a free transfer because he was a graduate student.
Oh, weird.
So he like decided he want to play at Georgia, but now he's just going to be entering the NFL draft. But thankfully, Georgia was able to pick
kind of like
USC
how that Duke
quarterback
Greg Paulus fucking got a free grad transfer to go play football for Penn State after he was done. No, not Syracuse. That Duke. Remember that Duke guy, Greg Paulus, who like transferred up to Syracuse to go play football for them for a year after he got done playing basketball at Duke.
I do remember that. Do you remember Jeff Samardzija from Notre Dame? He played like wide receiver and he was a pitcher for them. And like everyone thought he was going to go to the NFL draft, but then he went to MLB, and he's been pitching in the major leagues for like 10 some years, like a very long time.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, he probably took Bo Jackson's advice.
And played baseball, yeah.
Yeah, didn't Bo Jackson straight up like say how fucking if he went back he would have abandoned football for baseball because like rather than like trying to play both, like a fucking freak of nature because his getting injured in football ruined both careers.
Right. Yeah, he was such an incredible athlete.
Dude. Yeah, that dude was a freak. Like, how the fuck wasn't he like the?
Even imagine if he was.
Isn't he like the only guy to be an
like,
all-star in two? Didn't he both make the Pro Bowl and like make the MLB All-Star game?
Yeah, that was like a different breed of athlete, man. Like Deion Sanders, like when he played for 2 teams in one day. Like I don't think he actually like saw the field for the Braves or whatever, but he like played in a football game and then later that night like went to the Atlanta Braves to try and play in a baseball game, but they held him out of the game for whatever reason.
Weird,
just, like,
but yeah, he did it. Deion Sanders was like actually half decent at baseball too.
Oh yeah, he was a stupid good athlete. Like there's been so many good crossover stars, you just never see that anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bo Jackson is the only professional athlete in history to be named an all-star in both baseball and football.
Wow, he was such an incredible athlete. I mean, he still is, but it's just like that's so brutal that his career was ended that way by injury. Like he was so special. Like I just can't imagine like if
I guess he kept playing baseball a few years after his hip injury that ended his football career. Yeah.
They said he just like would jump out of the pool, like it's just crazy. Like he was so like such a freak athlete, would run like by a 4.2, 4.3, 40-yard dash, just like so fast, so big, so strong.
Did you ever you ever know do you ever hear of the nickname Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Bow?
No. Yeah, I do. But he was like the legendary like video game.
There was a game in 1989 that came out for the the original Nintendo Entertainment System called it was called Tecmo Bowl. And it didn't have like official NFL license, but like all of the teams and the players were like supposed to be real teams and players, just had to like couldn't use the names.
Sure.
And he's called the greatest athlete in video game history because his digital counterpart was nicknamed by fans as Tecmo Bow because in Tecmo Bowl the likeness of Bo Jackson literally like could not be tackled.
Wow. Or like Michael Vick when he was on the cover of Madden, like he was like the best player ever in that game.
Players would make the popular move of running Bo. I've literally done this on emulators with Tecmo Bowl. In fact, if it was easy for me to just set up my Nintendo Switch like in the middle of the podcast, which it isn't unfortunately, but if it was easy for me to do that, I would just I would literally put it on right now because Tecmo Bowl's on the Virtual Console. I'd find the team that Bo Jackson plays for, and I would run Bo Jackson. A thing that people would often do is run Bo Jackson all the way back to your own 1-yard line, and then just run 99 yards for a touchdown, and literally you can run right at defenders, and they'll just bounce right the fuck off of them.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because have you ever seen Tecmo Bowl? That shit is like, it's ancient. It's actually like fun as shit to play in the modern day, if you ask me. But as like a meme, it's ancient and outdated. But
sure, I've never actually played it, but it does look fun. I've heard obviously like all the legendary stories about it.
yeah, and then Super Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super Bowl actually has an NFL license. That was the sequel. Yeah. Tecmo Super Bowl is actually a cool ancient football game too. The oldest sports game I own is I own a Super NES card. I think I might have showed this to you, and we might have played a little bit of it before I moved to New York. Remember, I had a Super NES cartridge for NBA Live 1995.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
It came out like it was for the season which we were fucking born.
I was actually born in 94, late 94, but yeah.
Yeah,
totally
the 94 and 95, yeah, that was the... And I was born in February of 95. I think that was for the season after the Knicks were the fucking, like, lost the finals to the Rockets.
Right.
That was the hockey...
was that famous Penn State football season.
That's right, yeah, fucking Kerry Collins.
Yeah, Kerry Collins, Kajana Carter... Kyle Brady.
And they got shafted on the national championship because a bunch of media scumbags thought that fucking Nebraska was like a cooler team, even though Penn State probably could have kicked their asses.
Yeah, all that stuff back in the day with how controversial like national championships were and how many people claimed them. It's just like, damn, that was so crazy.
Dude, it's so stupid. And dude, what's even more ridiculous, what's really ridiculous is, did you know that in Pennsylvania it was like that for a really long time for high school football?
Really?
Yeah, dude, the PIAA state football championships have only been going on since like 1988 or some shit like that.
Really? Actually, toward the very beginning of when they started that, they played a game at Beaver Stadium, and then recently they played a state high game at Beaver Stadium against Cumberland Valley. But like, they used to originally hold the state championship game in Beaver Stadium way back in the day in the late 80s. I think it was maybe only one time, to be honest with you. They like held a couple games like for 1 year.
That sounds about right.
Like, they had 1 year of state championships at Beaver Stadium, and then they like obviously moved different places for a while.
Yeah, I was right. Yeah, it was 1988 was the first year that the PIAA actually like held a tournament to crown the fucking to crown a state champion for football. Right. Before that, the state champion for football was elected by sports writers across the state.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, there was
state high football would always lose to teams in the Whitfield. Like I feel like North
State High actually has won a state football championship. They were elected the state football champions in 1973.
Wow, was that like the Sueys and stuff way back in the day?
Yeah, I think Matt Suey might have played for them that year. I forget actually. Matt Suey might have graduated class of he might have graduated like class of 73, which meant his senior season would have been 72. Yeah.
State High could have won the state championship in 2009. Do you remember that?
Yep. Yeah, I watched it on fucking TV. I watched it on PCN.
Dude, it snowed so much. It probably snowed.
Yeah, it was brutal. Playing football in the snow's like fun.
Dude, I
love
it was
playing
crazy.
football
like,
in the snow.
State High was practicing in Haluba Hall, like leading up to that, and then like they were saying like if they would have just postponed the game to another time, like and Alex Kenny could have like run and obviously like, get the ball in open space, they probably would have won that game. Like
I would, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Down by the snow.
I keep forgetting that. Yeah, one thing that I keep forgetting about Pennsylvania football was that 5 years ago they like, for starting the 2016 season, they created 2 new size classes for it.
Right, now State High is 6A.
That's right, State High is 6A. I couldn't remember if State High was 5A or 6A.
Nah, they're 6A.
I figured, because State High's huge. You know why they created the 5A and 6A, right?
Was it just for, like, football and basketball?
It's, like, just for football and basketball, I think, and also, dude, the size discrepancy that was, like, present between various Quad A schools, it was basically, Quad A schools were, like, every school that had over, like, X number of kids in it for football and basketball.
So it would just be so unfair.
So, basically, what it was Dude, the smaller Quad A schools are schools like Du Bois, and or before they before they added 5A and 6A, the smallest Quad A schools were like the smallest Quad A schools, like smaller Quad A schools were like Du Bois, fucking Mifflin County. I'm trying to think of like some other places. Maybe one of maybe like Williamsport or some shit. Or actually, I forget how big Williamsport is, but
now there's
like
so
Du
few
Bois.
teams in State High's like classification. It's so hard to find like local teams to play. Like
State High's never played any local teams for football.
yeah.
The,
Well, I mean, like Mifflin County.
yeah, well, that's the problem is Mifflin County was. The reason why they created 5A and 6A was because, like, Mifflin County and Du Bois are too small to play in the fucking size, to really be, like, playing in the same size class as, like, State College or fucking Central Dauphin or, like, fucking some of these, like, schools in District 1 that cover, like, 5 different densely populated suburbs that are enormous as fuck.
Right. It's just all about how many like kids you have in your school and like how many kids
Exactly.
would go out for football and basketball.
Yeah,
And like the talent pool that you have to choose from. Like State High had.
Yeah, it's definitely, and it was especially for the fucking state tournament brackets. Like a school like Mifflin County or Du Bois has way better chance at winning a Quad A state championship under the 6 class system than they were when Quad A was the biggest class, because it was like
and
Quad
it
A.
makes it more fun. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it
the
was
same
like
thing as seeing it forward in golf. Like if you're playing against competition that's gonna kill you. Like I don't know. In general, like if State High played Bellefonte in like football or something, they would just destroy them. Like, and that's no knock on Bellefonte.
Usually.
That's the reality of the situation. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, the reason why State High and Bellefonte stopped playing each other a long time ago is because they played each other in the past. They had it was like the Iron Kettle or something.
In the 90s and even somewhat more recently. Like
I forget when they regularly stopped playing it. I remember reading some like article about it. They stopped playing it regularly in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, and State High like had a big rivalry with Altoona and like hasn't really played them all that much.
The reason why State College and Altoona don't play each other anymore is because Altoona does, like, even though they're in District 6 for everything else, they made this weird deal with PIA and Whippeal to move to District 7 for football only. They're a Whippeal school for football, but nothing else.
State High's mid-10, like they switched to mid-10 my senior year, I believe. Like when I was on the golf team, we like all went down to like the Harrisburg area. Like
State College has been. I think they switched to Mid Penn for like a bunch of a shit. It's been Mid Penn football for ages because Mid Penn was the
with stuff I believe switched in 2012.
What was golf's size class when you played?
I think I want to say 4A. But
I doubt there's enough schools playing running golf to, because like remember how the
like 2 and 3A maybe, I don't know.
It was probably triple A.
Yeah, there was maybe like single, double, and triple.
It's like I know for some sports that have like next to no schools that play them, like boys volleyball, I remember reading once a while ago, had like less schools running a team for it in Pennsylvania than any other PIAA sanctioned sport.
Right. So, like, State High golf back in the day, we used to play more, like, Altoona, Hollidaysburg, a lot of those kids. And we still, like, would play them, obviously, in more recent years, like, in big tournaments, invitationals. But we wouldn't play them in, like, consistent matches. Once we finally went to the Mid-Penn, we would play, like, Central Dauphin, Lower Dauphin, like, all those schools.
Yeah, State High football has been playing in the Mid-Penn for a long time because it was, like, all Quad A schools and shit.
Too, probably.
Yeah, for football and basketball, it was the only place where they could get Quad A below and switch. Football and basketball, I think, have been the only sports where even Quad A ever existed.
Right, that's possible. Yeah, I think now that you mention it, I for sure think golf was probably no more than 3A.
Yeah, because it's like for boys volleyball and the sports that have like next to no teams participating in it, there's literally only AA and AAA, which is literally tiny schools and giant schools.
Yeah.
Then,
speaking of which,
then for sports that have a bit more, there's...
What's that?
Then for, like, I think they have, like, single, double, and AAA for sports. They have a bit more schools participating in them, and then it's, like, the full 6 classes. I have no idea how they reorganized it, though. Yeah. Actually, I have their website with past championships.
State High and Hollidaysburg had, like, a big rivalry in golf when I was in school. Like, maybe they still do now. But like Hollidaysburg was our big like rival when we played in like any type of invitational tournament or anything like that. Like we would always go up against them, and we all hated each other. Like, but I mean, it's
the
all
one
love
winter
now.
sport, the one PIAA sport that I always forget PIAA sanctions, and have never really ever actually heard anything about, but I know people are. But I know it's sanctioned by PIAA. Is PIAA sanctions fucking rifle?
Do they really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a winter sport.
Like an NCAA sport, I'm pretty sure, to be honest with you. Or
probably, I think it still is
a college sport.
I think it still is an NCAA sport.
Is it really?
I think so.
That was a big sport at Penn State. They had shooting at Penn State, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if there's like a state championship for rifle. I don't know if there's like a state championship for rifle, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. There might be like a club or something now, but...
Well, it's PIAA sanctioned, just I don't know if they do a tournament for it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, there's also PIAA didn't have a varsity bowling either.
Yeah, well, maybe there's like an association.
Or PIAA has a varsity, or I meant PIAA sanctions bowling, but I don't know if it does I don't know if there's like if it sponsors a championship for it.
Right.
Like
yeah,
if there's an official tournament like there is for football, basketball, wrestling, and so on and so forth. Field hockey.
Right.
There was state championships for golf, right?
What's that?
There was state championships for golf, right?
Oh yeah, I believe it. I don't know if it's still held there, but it was always held down in what's that town right near like the Maryland border? It's like kind of south.
Is it Greencastle? That's town south of Gettysburg that literally sits like on the Maryland border.
Close to Baltimore. It's so close to Baltimore. It's like right over the state line from Baltimore.
That sounds like Greencastle.
No. What was the name?
Chambersburg?
No.
Mercersburg?
No. I don't know.
The thing that I can think of is the thing that I always think of that's like really, really close. That's like literally the place that I remember playing sports in high school that was like really, literally on the state line was fucking when we played Greencastle Antrim. That's a place like south of Gettysburg in Adams County. We played them for JV once because like some other school like couldn't put together a JV team and canceled against us, so we like scheduled like we like on a short notice scheduled a game against Greencastle one week.
Really?
And yeah, Greencastle was only like a AAA school, so that's why varsity never played them. But yeah, we played JV football against them, and it was a bit of a haul because Greencastle is this town that literally sits like right on the state line in Antrim Township in York.
Is the,
York, that's right. So yeah, like right off the 83, right?
Yeah, Heritage Hills was always the course that held the state championship. I don't know if it still is, to be honest, but it would stay like warmer later into the year, obviously, because it was very south. So they would always play
was
the
golf
state
a fall
championship at Heritage Hills. Yeah, golf is a fall sport for sure, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that on the website just now. Why the fuck did they play golf in the fall? Seems like it would be
the weather is more consistent than the spring, if you think about it.
True. Yeah. You mind if I go grab another beer real fast?
Yeah, of course, man.
Sweet. I will be right back, audience. this up, everybody. Let's turn this back down to some low volume. And I am going to pour my beer. What were we talking about again?
Heritage Hills in York, PA hosting
That's
the
right.
PIAA Golf Championship.
That's right. Fucking... What are, like, some of your favorite golf courses you've ever got the privilege to play on?
That's actually a good question. It's funny that you asked that. So when I was in, my senior year at State High, we played in this tournament. We did it pretty consistently. I don't know if they still playing it now. But it was called the Wheeling Invitational, and it was held at Sunny Hannah Country Club in Johnstown. I don't know if you're too familiar with it, but they have a really famous amateur tournament there at Sunny Hannah. So, like,
Oh, cool.
Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Fred Couples, like, all the who's who in golf, like, played there in this tournament before they became pros, like, while they were still amateurs. So, like, Ricky Fowler, all these people, like, have played in the Sunny Hannah Amateur, and it's a really, really hard course. It's the hardest course I've ever played.
Jesus.
So we played 36
And you're, like,
holes.
actually, like, way better at golf than I could ever hope to be. When
Yeah,
you're
it was
talking
really
about a course being, like, hard
Um,
as balls, I believe you.
Oh, it was so hard. Like, the very first hole, we played 36 holes in one day. So, like, we went down to Johnstown the night before, and we stayed in the Red Roof Inn. And then we woke up super early in the morning and, like, headed up. We probably were up at, like, 6 a.m. or something. We literally played 36 holes all day long. Like, we played from 8 a.m. until, like, 7 or 8 p.m. because it just took so long. Because, like, there was kids of so many various skill levels playing on this, like, incredibly hard course. And, like, obviously people were taking the rules super
that's
serious
nuts.
because it was, like, a real important
A sweaty
tournament that we
boy
were
tournament,
playing. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like, it was a high school tournament for, like, all sorts of teams from, like, all over PA. So we, like, played obviously against, like, Hollidaysburg and stuff. But, like, the very first hole we played of the 36 holes, I putted off the green. It was that fast.
Jesus.
And they didn't have a driving range at all available, so, like, we just had to go, like, kind of cold right into it and just warm up, like, on the
That
course.
sucks.
So it was pretty brutal, dude, but it was a really good time. I shot 84.90, which was pretty good for me, but I had this one hole that was so, like, annoying to me. It was this par 5, like, straight up the hill. I don't know what it was, maybe, like, 8 or something. But it's this really long par 5, straight uphill, maybe, like, 550, 600 yards, so long. But I shot a 9 on it and a 10 on it in 2 consecutive times. Like, we played 36 holes, so I played it twice. But I, like, blew up my whole round both times on the exact same hole. I had a quad bogey and I had a quintuple bogey on that one hole. And if I would have played better on, like, that one hole, I would have been so much better for the tournament or whatever. But I think I shot, like, last place among the State High kids. I was maybe 4th among all the kids because the kids I played with were so good. Like,
I remember you were telling me that the dudes who played golf for State High golf were, like, really gnarly. Yeah, don't
dude,
dox
when I joined
anybody,
the team
just,
as a sophomore, like, there were so many good kids.
yeah. Just don't
but, like,
casually drop any names.
Yeah, no, of course. But it was just, like, a great time. Like, what was I saying? State High golf. Oh, I meant to get to the end of the story, but we ended up winning the tournament.
That's gnarly.
Somehow. Yeah, it was really fun, and they had, like, a real cool, like, reception afterwards, and there was, like, a nice banquet for everyone, and everyone dressed up. And we all, like, got to, like, do this, like, award thing, which was
That's
real fun.
sick,
Like,
yeah.
it was a great time. Like, I really enjoyed getting to spend it with my teammates, and it was a really fun tournament. Like, I had a blast, obviously. I wouldn't change it for the world, but
Yeah, that would be sick. The only time I
Yeah,
ever really
like-
competed in any, like, big cock sports tournaments in high school was in rugby. We went down to DC for that fucking tournament when I was a
I
sophomore.
remember that. Yeah,
Did you ever see
was
that
pretty
video
cool.
of
The
me,
cherry
like,
blossom.
did you ever see that video of me being, like, duct taped to a chair at the fucking hotel we stayed at?
Yeah, and you're spinning around. You just, like, thought you were gonna throw up or something.
They're spinning me around. I'm just like, they're like torturing me. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, stop.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
It wasn't hazing. I willingly submitted to it. No.
Yeah, dude, there was so much fun stuff, like bonding, like, among, like, high school teams, like, even on,
Yeah.
like, the van trips on the way back from.
Or
golf
no, it was a
tournaments, we
deal
had so
like,
much good
I was a
conversation.
huge fucking nicotine feed. Oh my god, the worst thing is, did I ever tell you about this terrible story from Cherry Blossom? We were out on the pier, and I was, like, hanging out with a bunch of seniors. We were all smoking fucking fucking cigarettes because the fucking rugby team is literally always has always been state highs. Like, I hope coronavirus doesn't just like kill the state high rugby team forever, because past couple of years it's been having troubled times, especially the boys rugby club.
Yeah,
girls
are just like keeping numbers up. And
girls club I don't think's been super bad, but yeah, the boys club, nobody seems to want to fucking play it anymore, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
But
it
makes me really
passed down from like upperclassmen to younger kids, and then they want to get involved and like do it. So
yeah, like when I was like getting out of high school, when I was a senior high school, I really enjoyed playing rugby, and it was good, like with all the kids that were like, it was really fun with all the kids that were like new into rugby, just being like, well, kids, this is rugby, please learn it, love it, and then pass it on to other kids around after you, because the state high rugby club should stick around.
Yeah, like that.
We were always the like ramshackle. We were the ramshackle sports team at State High, and we always had like the biggest fucking stoners, and like almost like it was like the misfit team at State High almost.
Yeah, and then the boys cross country team was like so crazy too. Like,
boys cross country team just had like a very odd culture to it that I did not fucking understand looking at it from afar. It almost seemed like a cult in a similar way to the football team did, but the football cults and the football. I remember being a football player, I hated the fucking cross country guys. I don't know. We really only hated them because they would like run by the stadium and like call us pussies for not fucking like running 10 miles a day for practice. And it's like, sorry that we don't run 10 miles a day. We just stand out here and fucking hit each other for hours instead.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as good things for high school sports go, like it was definitely right, like what you said about like the older upperclassmen, like passing the tradition down to the younger kids, like. Yeah. That was the coolest part of golf, was like having those upperclassmen to like look up to, and then you're like the older kid that people look up to.
But yeah, so anyways, about this awkward moment that happened at the Cherry Blossom tournament, I was hanging out with a bunch of I was a sophomore, I was hanging out with a bunch of the seniors that played. We were like we were all like standing around, we were smoking fucking cigarettes and shit. A couple of them were puffing on cigars. The one dude who was like a huge cigarette fiend, I like bummed a cigarette off of him. I'm like walking around smoking this cigarette. I get a call on my phone from my coach, and I just pick it up and I'm like, hello? And he's just like, how's that cigarette? I'm just like, and he's just like, knock it off. And I just hung up my phone and like walked down the pier where I like knew that the hotel windows wouldn't be able to see down towards this pier anymore, and just like finished my fucking cigarette and went back into the hotel. He didn't tell my parents or anything either.
Did you ever go on the senior trip?
No, fuck that.
It was pretty interesting. I ended up going, but like when we went on the like boat or whatever, like so many people were like smoking cigars and stuff, and all like the state high teachers were like all the state high teachers were like trying to be cool about it, and then they were like, it got to the point where they're like, all right guys, like we know that not all of you are 18, like you just cannot be smoking up here, like blah blah blah. Like they let it go for a little while, and then they were like, all right, like.
Oh yeah, and then there was like a smoking deck at this like really dank hotel that we were staying at for the tournament. There was this like smoking deck, and then like when like we like waited until pretty late in the night, and then we all went out there and just got extremely high.
As one does. Yeah, that's a fun thing to do, no doubt.
Oh, and then that wasn't the only time I was smoking cigarettes or rugby-related things. A couple of times, me and a couple of the there were a couple of times that me and a couple of the guys that I played rugby with, we like actually snuck off like right before warm-up to go like sneak a fucking cigarette before a fucking game. Is that... I can't... Dude, the shit that we got away with playing fucking rugby, man.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of like a fringe thing that people don't usually talk about, but have you ever done any research on like how Native American tribes use like tobacco as a religious sacrament and what have you? Like a lot of people use tobacco for like positive like reasons. It's not always negative. Like it's all about your mindset, I feel like.
Yeah, that wasn't why we were smoking cigarettes before night games, though. It's because we were all addicted to fucking nicotine.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm just saying in general, like, even if you roll
I'm
your
not
own
gonna
shit
I'm
and
not gonna
stuff,
be like, oh, I'm appropriating Native American traditions of using the fucking peace pipe or
no,
some shit.
I would never say that. I'm just saying in general, like, people have used it traditionally. Like,
Yeah.
it's like an interesting thing.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
Look into it. Some
It
people
does have
different
a lot
opinions.
of. Yeah, it does
No, I
have
would
a
never
lot
try and
of
like
use.
appropriate that. I'm just using that as an example.
I
Like,
know. I wasn't
culture-
accusing you of appropriating that either. I was just
No.
joking about myself, like, oh no, this was not like any sort of like supposedly cultural use of tobacco that would totally not be from any of my white man culture anyway. Fucking
Yeah.
other
Yeah,
than just
doing
like
it all, like,
how
different
white men
cultures have different
appropriated
uses for it.
white men appropriated smoking cigarettes in general, but then they just got everybody just got addicted to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my main point is like tobacco in itself isn't necessarily harmful. It's just all the chemicals and stuff on top of it. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Dude, nicotine is so fucking bad. Being addicted to nicotine. You've never been addicted to nicotine, right?
no, I haven't. Thankfully.
Don't do it. Yeah, don't fucking do it. Dude,
Yeah.
like every time one of my coworkers, there's like only one of my coworkers who actually fucking smokes cigarettes. Anytime I see him light up a cigarette, it's just like, fuck. I want one so fucking bad, dude. I haven't had
Yeah.
nicotine in like several months.
Have you? Good for you.
Yeah, I haven't had nicotine in like several months. I still hit my vape, but I'm like not quite as fiendish about the. Sometimes when I'm raging when I'm like playing games and I'm lit, I'll chug it, but I have no nicotine in the fucking thing.
Wow. Well, that's great, man. I'm glad to
Yeah,
hear
I've
that.
been off the. Thank you. Yeah, I've been off the fucking nicotine for a while, but holy fuck, man! I see somebody like smoking cigarette, or even if like I smell fucking cigarette smoke, I'm just like,
Yeah. Just triggers. Yeah. Yeah. It's tough, man. It's like probably like a lifelong thing.
It's a
just, like,
fucking addiction, dude. It's
Yeah.
so bad. Dude, you know how bad of a fucking nicotine fiend I used to be. Like, bro, we
Yeah.
would hang out and it would be like every fucking half hour. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go out. Like, we were like playing virtual golf, and I'd be like, we were playing fucking what's it? We'd be playing like Tiger Woods on my 360, and then just like, and like every like few holes, just like, yeah, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but it does sound like your voice is like much more clear, and you're not like coughing and what have you. Like,
Yeah, I
you definitely
appreciate
sound
that.
like you're like.
And it's
really,
still been like it's been years since I regularly smoked cigarettes too. Like I put down smoking cigarettes for the fucking vape, but then I still had the nicotine in the vape for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
at least
and there was
now
even
you're
a
just doing like the pure shit.
yeah. I'm huffing on that. It was because like in New York they had to stop selling because Andrew Cuomo's a bit of a control freak. They had stop selling fucking vape juice with nicotine in it. Instead,
Right.
but they can sell nicotine separately and you can mix it yourself. I did that once and then I was gonna do it again and I was just like, no, fuck it. I'm not gonna spend the
Yeah.
extra like $2 on the thing of nicotine. I'm gonna try to quit the fucking nicotine now.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't even matter what you're smoking. It's just like the act of smoking is like relaxing or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, and I
like,
still kind of feel like that, and it's totally because my brain like associates me chugging on a vape or smoking stuff with fucking nicotine.
Right. But at least you're doing something that's clean and like that you still get the enjoyment out of it, but it's not harmful for you.
Yeah, plus this is gonna sound really fucking weird. Sometimes like huffing on the nicotine vape juice, it's also like I also like it because it just tastes good. And
Sure,
sometimes
yeah. It's just a different taste.
and it's like I get to
real
taste
bad.
thing that's good without just like eating food that would taste like this but also be like extremely like fattening.
Sure, that makes sense.
Like what the fuck am I huffing on? Or I'm huffing on some like fruity shit, but still.
Okay, I got the little Tahoe OG cart going on over here.
Nice.
But-
That's some fucking dispensary shit, ain't it?
Oh yeah, you know.
You lucky
but,
bastard. Although it is disgustingly overpriced in the PA and New
Yeah.
York medical systems.
What do you think about this whole like recreational possibility in PA? But not only that, like maybe
Fucking go
federally?
for it. Fucking go for it.
Yeah, there's no
Fucking
reason
there's
not
no
to.
excuse. There's no fucking
If Joe
excuse to not
Biden-
do it.
if Joe Biden just made that his campaign promise to like ensure that he got federal cannabis, that would be like a landslide.
Yeah, but the problem is, maybe. There's still so many people who are, like, completely opposed to it for no, like, fucking actual logical reason.
I feel in general, though, the amount of people that feel that way has been going down. I feel like probably
I'm glad it is going down.
Like, probably 70% of people, down. I would say, are, like, pretty much okay with it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm very curious.
Yeah.
I miss fucking... I do miss, like, literally, the one thing I miss about high school is rugby.
Yeah.
The only thing I miss about high school is playing fucking rugby, dude. I loved playing rugby.
Well, it's like a physical outlet. It's kind of like an active meditation almost.
Yeah, and I had some good friends playing rugby.
Yeah, a lot of kids back in the day you played rugby with. Like, I remember all those kids.
I don't know if you saw Nav in the Discord.
Did I?
Yeah.
I haven't, but
Yeah.
is he there right now?
Well, he's not. I don't think he's online unless... Actually, he might be.
Well, it's good to have him stop by earlier regardless. I mean, shout out.
Well, he wasn't stopping by. I just meant you see how there's like the big list of members?
Okay.
I saw him online earlier, but he didn't hop in voice or anything. Yeah, he wasn't hopping in voice, but yeah, if you look down the list of members, Nav is in the Discord. He has 2 different accounts because he fucked up and didn't realize he could like log into the Discord he made on his phone on PC and accidentally made an account on each.
Oh, wow.
So both of his accounts are in the server, and they're both granted the same administrative privileges, as are you.
That's cool.
Yeah, as are what am I doing? That's right, I was going to go back to this screen so that it wouldn't just be my face floating over Discord's window without my face, like, covering something that's obviously supposed to cover. Yeah, there's... I don't know what the fuck was I gonna say.
Shout out Discord for asking if I'm registered to vote. I am, so I will be voting, obviously.
Good
but
shit.
That's very cool.
That's based.
Yeah, man. Vote.org. Check it out.
Yep. I am registered to vote the state of New York. I voted by mail for a special election for Congress around here, and the dude who won this, Chris Jacobs, who won the special election, he is this dude whose whole campaign was basically, I will suck Donald Trump's cock if he asks me to.
You hate to see it.
Yep. And once again, folks, I live in New York.
The Empire State.
Contrary to popular belief, Republicans do have pull around here. Yeah, I went to Cooperstown a long time ago. I'm guessing the Baseball Hall of Fame isn't open.
I think they might be now. They weren't at the very beginning of the summer, but they might be in limited capacity with masks right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know what? If they're doing that, I need to fucking drive out there to go do that. No, maybe not. Or maybe I'll drive out there just to go drive out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of looking at the same fucking shit over and over again. I'm sure I could find like some dank back roads that have like no traffic on them to just like get dank, like beautiful, like Forest Drive.
Yeah, there's like you ever been to Red Shed Brewing Company just outside of Cooperstown?
Like, no, I haven't been up to Cooperstown since I was a small child.
Dude, I'm telling you, we should go meet up there sometime. My aunt and uncle.
Yeah, once it's safe. I'll like.
For years, who knows? But nice spot up there. Like they have a boat and stuff. We could probably go out on the water on
that's sick.
Lake. So I know you're like a big boat guy. They have like a speedboat, but you're more like a sailing type. But it's still fun either way.
Cigarette boats can still be cool. Yeah, they're fun to just rip around, and maybe I'd have to tow the fucking catamaran over there because I do want to have it fixed by like next season.
Oh, dude, it'd be so fun. That's like such a beautiful, picturesque lake up there.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of like I'm up by the Finger Lakes. There's a lot of fucking dank shit to do around here, dude.
Oh, I'm sure. I've like
Plus,
kind of
I
explored
can't
very
wait
little.
until it's safe to have crowds because I want to go to one of the many like weird like dirt and concrete ovals out in. There's so many like dirt and concrete ovals out in weird parts of upstate New York, and also Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I wonder if there's
Watkins
any
Glen is a
drive-in
road
options.
circuit.
Like, so many people are doing drive-in stuff right now.
What do you mean? Like drive-in
Like,
movies
like
and shit?
drive-in movies, drive-in concerts, like all sorts of stuff.
Yep, I'll have to do some research into that because holy fuck, it's been getting a little weird, all of the same shit over and over again. Just like going to work, being in my house, seeing all the same shit in the same scenery. Every once in a while, I'll go cruise around and check out the actual Finger Lakes or cruise up to Lake Ontario.
Yeah. Cruising is so fun, dude. I love just like driving around. And, like,
I want to
it's the
go to
best
one
fun.
of these dirt ovals and just see like lawless redneck fucking locals short track racing. From what I've seen some videos of it on YouTube, and it actually looks like a fun time. And my my boss was telling me he went to one, and it's something. It's cool to just like bring. He's not even that into it. It's just something fun to just like bring a 6-pack of beer and get wasted.
Yeah, no doubt. It does look like a good time.
Oh boy! So what the fuck has been going on with it? As I was saying earlier about how I grew up a Red Sox fan. The Red Sox are one of the worst fucking teams in baseball. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the worst team is the Pirates, but the
That's
Red Sox
sad. The Red Sox are
aren't too
close.
much better. Who are like the best teams, like the Dodgers? Who all?
I don't even know. I haven't
been
been I haven't even been paying any fucking attention in baseball.
It's such a short season. Anyone can really make the expanded playoffs. Like,
That's right.
I think they're gonna have 16
And the Red
teams
Sox
make
are
the
still
playoffs,
going to
so-
be out, so which a 16-team playoff is what the NHL and NBA do with like a similar number of teams.
Yeah. I think it'll be cool. Like, they're trying so many new rules just to, like, for the sake of trying it, because it's such a short season. And I'm sure some will stick and some won't, but it's definitely neat. And I know they're going to try and do like a postseason bubble.
The Red Sox are 12-25. Holy dick balls! All right, we gotta actually bring that up on the screen. Let's pull up the baseball standings. So, yeah, that's a little weird that the first place team in the East is the Rays. They usually suck, from what I can remember.
Yeah, it's such. Well, I mean, they've had their good years and their bad years, but like they're up and down.
They're also in. They're one of the newer teams. Remember how they used to be called the Devil Rays?
Right? Yeah, they changed their name. I guess they thought it was like bad PR.
Yeah, boy, must have really been trying to appeal to religious freaks if Devil was gonna trigger people like that. Fucking.
Yeah, maybe. Do you remember that?
Who the devil?
Yeah,
that was about a fucking Devil Rays player. Yeah.
Yeah, he played for the Devil Rays in that movie. That was wild.
The AL Central, the Red Sox. Just why the fuck? They're worse than the fucking Orioles.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Something else, man.
Usually the Orioles are the
Padres
ones that just
really
get
good.
pissed all over. The Padres.
The Padres might be, they might be the hottest team in baseball right now with Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado, and they just acquired like so many guys at the deadline.
Oh shit! Damn, the Dodgers are 28-10.
Yeah, they're playing really well.
Oh yeah, that's the best record. Nobody's better than that.
Yeah, the Dodgers have a really, really good roster. They just got Mookie Betts too from Boston.
Yep, yeah. That's part of the reason why Boston sucks is because it's another cycle where they like got rid of a bunch of good people. Yeah, Mookie's like actually
who's
gnarly.
Boston starting outfield right now? Do you know?
No.
Let me look it up.
They're
I
a bunch
Andrew
of idiots.
Benintendi's in the outfield.
I think he's one of them. Yeah.
Let's see. Depth chart. Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, Benintendi is one of their. I'm gonna look that up too. The Red Sox starting lineup.
Alex Verdugo in left. Jackie Bradley Jr. in center. Looks like JD Martinez is also out there. Let's
I always forget that they actually like baseball frequently. Yeah, they're most. Yeah, so the last time they played, or today, the Red Sox are playing against the last time they played. So yesterday, or I guess today actually, because it was the second. Did the Braves beat the fucking Red Sox today? Why is it not giving me the scores on there? What the fuck? Robinson Layer. Who the fuck is that? I've never heard of this man. Okay, so yeah, that was the pitcher. Then Boston's lineup batting was, I guess, Alex Verdugo. Right, who's a right fielder. Rafael Devers isn't bad. Yeah, like the one dude who plays for the... Who the fuck are these people? Who the fuck are these people? JD... I think I've heard of JD Martinez. Who the fuck is Kevin Plawecki? Plawecki? I don't know how he pronounces it. Michael Chavis, Jackie Bradley Jr., Bobby Dalbec, Jose Peraza. Who the fuck are those people? Literally, the two names that I know on that roster are like Rafael Devers and like Sander Bogaerts is. Sander Bogaerts is like the one dude on this roster now who's like actually fucking really good.
Jackie Bradley Jr. is a really good defensive outfielder. I don't know about his batting skills, but I know he's an incredible.
Is he like a really young guy or something, and I just haven't heard of him? Because I barely pay attention to baseball anymore.
He might be like in his 30s, to be honest with you.
Oh shit.
He is 30 years old, from Richmond, Virginia.
Oh,
but yeah,
shit.
He's a spectacular defensive outfielder. Like, if you ever watch some of his highlights, he's so good. Like, him like robbing home runs and diving.
That's good, yeah. At least they have that. Just yeah, they're
in general, their talent level like isn't really at where it was when they were winning World Series and stuff. Like they're definitely
which was as recent as they won the World Series only 2 years ago.
Did they really?
Yeah, remember they won the 2018
phase for them.
Remember the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018?
Wow, I forgot about that, man. That's
yeah.
crazy. I remember 2004. Like I vividly remember 2004.
Oh, I remember
like,
that too.
I remember watching like the Red Sox Yankees series like in some random living room, just like on this little fuzzy TV, and just being like captivated by it. Like it was the craziest shit. Like October baseball, just like I don't know, the hairs on your arm standing up. Like it was kind of crazy, like witnessing history like that.
Yeah, that's right. The 2018 fucking it was like Alex Cora was like running the Red Sox that year, and then he ran them again the next year, and then he ended up he dipped out of the Red Sox because he got in trouble because he was doing sleazy shit when he worked with the Astros. But
yeah,
they won the World Series. Alex Cora was their manager. That's right. The Red Sox went 108-54 that year, which isn't over a 100 win season. Isn't winning 100 games in a full baseball season like really, 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 really hard?
Yeah, I want to say the Seattle Mariners have the best regular season record ever, but you can check me on that.
What, did the Mariners have like...
I think they won like 120 some games maybe, like so just something absolutely absurd, like...
I'm just gonna look that up real quick. Most wins in Alright, this looks like some clickbait slideshow. Alright, whatever. That's right, yeah, the 2001 Seattle Mariners and the 1906 Cubs won 116 games each. However, in 1906, they only played like 154 games or some shit like that instead of 162.
Okay, so a little more impressive.
Yeah.
But still, that's like insane to think about, like that many games.
Yeah, that's right. The Cubs are 136 or 116 and 36, which is Oh, maybe it was only 152 games, actually.
Oh, wow, that is impressive.
Oh, that's right. In the 2001 Mariners were, yeah, that 116 wins has only ever been matched once. The 2001 Mariners got 116 wins, and yeah, guess whose debut year that was, for at least in the United States?
Yeah. Randy Johnson.
Oh no, he's way older than that.
Oh, I have no idea then.
It was Ichiro's first year.
That makes sense.
In the United
he's
States,
like
that
an
is.
Superstar, dude. Even to this day, like Ichiro is a legend.
He finally retired, right?
Somewhat recently, maybe 2-3 years ago. He was still. I think.
I'm pretty sure he's straight. Yeah, I know that he went into the Mariners to retire. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he is actually like 47 or 48 years right now.
Is he? Yo, do you ever remember the pitcher Jamie Moyer? He used to pitch for like the Mariners and all sorts of teams. Like he was a journeyman. Like he pitched for like the Phillies, obviously, so many different teams. But he actually grew up down the street from my mom, and I think it's like an absolutely absurd stat. But when he retired, he had faced 10% of all active, like not active, 10% of like major league batters in history. Like that is such a crazy stat to think about. Like facing 10% of all the guys that have ever like gotten an at bat in Major League Baseball. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah.
And there's like thousands of them, obviously. So.
Yeah, Ichiro is a really fucking gnarly player.
Oh yeah, he was so productive for so long. Like he was like so consistent. And rarely ever made mistakes. Like he was such
Ichiro's
a good
nuts.
Player and offensive player.
And he wasn't even like, yeah, that's right. Ichiro's straight up like 46 years old, right? Yeah, hit 21st of March 2019. Yeah, he's only been retired for like a year.
Yeah, I think there's a really good long form story about Ichiro that you should read by Wright Thompson. I believe that's the author. But
I remember when I was younger, I originally read it on Wikipedia that like Ichiro has straight up said that the training his father demanded him to partake in to like be a good baseball player.
Here, let me send you this story. This is a really good long form story. You should check out.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
If you have the time.
Ichiro, I know that, like, I'm reading on the Wikipedia, according to Ichiro, he said the training his father subjected him to bordered on hazing, and he suffered a lot.
Wow.
And then he says right here, the elder Suzuki claimed, baseball was fun for both of us. But Ichiro later said, it might have been fun for him, but for me it was a lot like Star of the Giants, which is a popular Japanese, it's just a manga and anime series about a young baseball prospect's like really torturous road to success with rigorous training demanded by the father. Yeah, Ichiro basically Ichiro
I just sent you that story, by the way.
On
Ichiro by Wright Thompson.
Or I meant on what media?
It's ESPN. Online, like ESPN the magazine.
Or I meant which of the various like apps that we use to talk to each other did you send it to me in?
Discord. I apologize.
Oh, cool. It's all good. Oh yeah, I see your PM there now.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely check it out when you have the time.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out at some point.
Wright Thompson is one of the best long-form writers I've encountered. His stuff is really good. You should definitely check it out.
Does he mostly write about sports and whatnot?
Yeah, he does really long-form pieces for ESPN that are fantastic. You should definitely check it out. He
I find long form sports journalism pieces to actually be rather interesting, especially compared to the soundbite fucking garbage that a lot of ESPN's television content consists of.
I miss Grantland so much. Do you remember that website, Grantland?
Which one?
It was called Grantland, all one word, but definitely check it out. It's like no longer in operation, but it was like a really cool thing. It was like a long form journalism thing.
Damn,
for
I
a lot
don't
of
remember
people.
that one. Dude, Deadspin was originally like dank, and now I'm pretty sure, and now Deadspin has been like ruined.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated is getting
It's come
ruined too. It's
back.
really sad.
Oh, Sports Illustrated is getting ruined? How?
Yeah. Oh, have you read about all that stuff? Like the acquisition of Sports Illustrated by like Maven and stuff, and they're trying to like water down the quality of
Oh,
the
no, I
journalism
haven't.
so much.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and like obviously the regular staffers are really like pushing back on it, and like but so many people have like been laid off and stuff. It's really
Yep.
sad. Like
Okay, yeah,
they're,
like how
they're not
Deadspin just like.
interested in.
Remember how Deadspin had like everybody walk off?
Right, exactly. It's just
I know
like,
that it started producing content again, but I can imagine it like sucks now.
yeah, dude. Like I used to love back in the day picking up or like subscribing to Sports Illustrated and like getting that in the mail. That was like the highlight of my week. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like I love reading this.
Yeah, I
but now
thought
it's just,
Sports
like,
Illustrated
all
was
the stuff.
sick back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's still some great writers there. It's just really sad that like the corporate culture is like not conducive to like
It's not
churning
conducive
out
to
really
good
high-quality
journalism.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's really not. They like don't invest in local journalism. Really, it's sad.
And then along came cable, and a ratings race ensued. Great legends found themselves replaced by blondes with big fake boobs. Debate
Something
was
else,
placed
man.
with punditry, politically skewed. It's what we call the news. That's not just relevant to sports, but literally everything. Fucking. Oh. Yeah, fucking. Where was I going? I don't remember where I was going.
I don't know, but I
Where
feel like
was
we've
I
had a
going?
pretty good conversation. Is there anything that's like you're burning to talk about?
No, we got a lot of good ground covered this time.
Yeah, I
Fucking.
think so too. I think this was like probably the most fun episode I've had. I don't know about you, but I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
went pretty smoothly. Now that we have some practice and stuff under our belt, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely. Let's figure out when we'll best be able to do this again next week, and we can call it a night on this episode.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It was great talking to you. Love you, man.
Fuck yeah. You have yourself a wonderful night, dude. It's been great talking.
You have a good one, man.
Yeah,
Peace
you
out.
too. Oh, thank you very much for stopping by, everybody. It's been a wonderful time babbling about sports while kind of crossfaded. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful evening. God damn it, fucking mouse. Shit.